Hello folks, Celene Galvan here from Nannies Marketing Director. And if you didn't know, June is Alzheimer and Brain Awareness Month. And I have with me here the program specialist from the Alzheimer's Association, Miss Linda Howard. Thank you for being here, Linda.
Thank you for having me.
So guys, you may have missed the last video, and if you did, it's okay. But Linda's here to kind of share some information with us about Alzheimer's and how, what we can expect when you're diagnosed with something like that. So Linda, can you just give our people, just in case they missed the first video, a little information about what you guys do at the Alzheimer's Association?
Sure.
Okay.
What we do is we are a national nonprofit agency, and we do fund research. Our mission is to end Alzheimer's disease, so we do fund research, but we also at a local level work with families through family caregiver education, through support groups and emotional support, and we just we meet with families one-on-one to help them individually navigate their journey.
Wow, that is so valuable. So when a person gets this diagnosis that you've got Alzheimer's, you know, where can they turn? What can they do?
Well, there's a couple of different things you can do. We help families. There's 7 stages of Alzheimer's disease, and we help families navigate all the way through. Whatever their needs are, we meet them where they are to address those needs and concerns. If it's very preliminary, if you are out there and you're concerned that you may be having some early signs and symptoms, you just feel like you're outside of your normal functioning, but you're not quite ready to talk to the doctor about it because you're not sure how to open the dialogue, give our offices a call. We can give you the information you need on what the warning signs are versus the aging changes, because there are changes associated with age, and they are distinctly different from warning symptoms of an onset of Alzheimer's disease.
Wow, like what?
So,
what would be the difference between, you know, I mean, how do you know if it's just like you're aging and getting a little forgetful, or if you might actually have an early symptom?
Okay, so I'm going to give you guys just a couple of big ones, and because we're short on time, I won't give you, we have actually 10 warning signs, and we have educational programs across the country going on in your local community. And if you wanted detailed information on those 10 signs and what the aging changes look like, please go to our website, alz.org. You can go to the chapter website if you're in Southwest Florida at alz.org/FL Gulf Coast. Get on the community calendar for your community and find the detailed programs that we have. But for the sake of time, I'm just going to give you a couple of big ones. So one very early symptom is the people start to have challenges with really understanding money and the inability to manage money. That becomes a challenge when someone has an onset of something more serious like Alzheimer's disease. If you're just aging, then you should not have any issues balancing your checkbook. You know, you should not have any issues with overdrafts consistently. If it happens, you know, once a year, it's something that happens to all of us. You may forget to write a payment in and it happens. But if you're consistently overdrafting your bank account, if you're consistently unable to balance that checkbook, something more serious could be going on. And again, you can give our offices a call if you have some of those symptoms. You can call, you can talk to your primary care. I always encourage people, the first step should be primary care, because what they can do at the primary care office is blood work to rule out reversible conditions that will bring on some symptoms. So if you have a thyroid imbalance, you may have some of these symptoms, and you treat your thyroid and you go back to normal.
Wow.
If you have a B vitamin deficiency, that will show up through blood work as well, and you treat the deficiency in your B vitamins and you go back to normal functioning, hopefully, if it's not an onset of something more serious like Alzheimer's. If it is an onset of something more serious like Alzheimer's disease or vascular dementia or some other type of irreversible dementia, then your primary care will work with you to make sure that you do the battery of testing in getting a proper diagnosis. Another big sign, because I gave you that, the managing money, another big sign that we see, the aging change is, you know, the misplacement of things. How often do we do that? misplacing items. And
I
what
do that a
items
lot.
are? Yeah, and the items are phones, keys, glasses, purses, wallets. Those are the big ones.
And that's just signs of aging?
Well, and I'm going to give you the distinct differences. So we all misplace items, okay? And as you age, the brain ages, and you will misplace an item, and you're going through your day 1 or 2, maybe 3 steps ahead of yourself, and if you not mentally focused and you put your phone down on the kitchen counter, and the phone is usually at the front door, and you leave your house 2 hours later, and you're at that front door and the phone or the keys are not at that front entryway, if you get to that front door and you are able to retrace your steps, the journey that you took within your house, the morning routine that you had that morning, you got up, you made a pot of coffee, you went to the bedroom, you took a shower, you went and sat in your lanai, you got ready to go, and then an hour later you're at the front door. If you're able to retrace your steps, that's a good sign. It's probably just an aging change. If you get to that front door and you're not able to retrace your steps to find the lost item, then something may be going on under the surface that's causing that problem. That should not be a challenge or an issue if you're just having some aging changes.
Wow.
Okay?
That's great information. Linda is such a source of information, and there's also a hotline, a 24-hour hotline that you can call for more information, especially if you have been given this diagnosis, because Linda, they provide classes, and what other services will you do for people that have this disease?
So we work, if someone's there's 7 stages of Alzheimer's disease, and we do work with families that have other types of dementia as well, because the symptoms can be very similar. But we will help you navigate where you are. So in early stages, the concern, for the individual and for the family members is, what do we expect? What is coming for us, and what's the progression look like? What should we expect in the coming years? And we can sit down with the individual and with the family and address all of those questions and concerns in early stages, kind of pre-planning and preparing, and make sure that all the ducks are in a row so that we are proactively preventing crisis from occurring later. That's early stage. If you're in moderate stage, and you're probably, if you are a moderate stage, a caregiver of a loved one that's in a moderate stage, that's stage 4 and 5 of Alzheimer's, then your challenges are probably trying to understand your approach to communication with your loved one, because communication changes. The other challenges are really understanding what the behavioral manifestation of the disease is, because the symptoms are primarily behavioral. So we want to help you there as well when you're in that part of the journey.
That's great.
And we have classes. We do a 2-hour class on just the behavioral manifestation itself, and then we do another separate class on communication changes. So again, whatever we can do to help you, we're going to try to meet you where you are.
And you mentioned the caregivers that are the loved ones, taking care of the husband that has the Alzheimer's or whatever. And I'd like to invite you here to work with our caregivers and anybody else that's interested in coming to learn about this disease and how they can effectively help someone, and what they should expect from someone who's starting to decline from this disease. But we're gonna take a pause, and we'll be back with more information from Linda. So stay tuned. Granny Nanny wants to bring you information to help you help your loved ones. Thank you so much for being here, Linda.
Thank you.
All right, everybody. We'll be right back. Stay tuned.